Welcome to the Anything Goes Renegade Podcast. I'm your host, Demetrius Smith, and today we're back at it, another one. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about the human aura. I believe I talked about this before in season 1, but I felt like I didn't go far enough with it, so we are going to be discussing about it today again, and hopefully I'll be able to give you guys a better understanding of it. Now, before we go any further, whatever I say in today's episode and previous episode, you guys need to take it with a grain of salt. Okay, just take it with a grain of salt. Go out there, do your own research. Go out there, do your own experiments. Okay, don't just rely on me. I just need you guys to go out there, do your own research, your own experience. Trust your own guidance, okay? And we're going to get right into it. So, again, today's episode will be about the human aura. Let's get right into it. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? Are you passionate about a favorite subject matter or a message that you want everyone to listen to, but you don't have any of the equipment or have no idea where to begin? Well, look no further than Anchor. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Do not worry about any extra equipment, guys, because Anchor's creation tools allows you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds great. They'll distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. To get started, download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm. That's ANCHOR.FM. Again, to get started, download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm. That is ANCHOR.FM. Okay, so according to New Age beliefs, an aura or human energy field is a color in emanation said to enclose a human body or any animal object in some exotic position. The aura is described as a sort of body. Psychics and hallucics medicine practitioners often claim to have the ability to see the size, color, and type of vibration of an aura. In spiritual alternative medicine, the human being aura is seen as part of a hidden anomaly that reflects the state of being and health of a client. Often understood to even compromise centers of vital forces called chakras. I used to call them chakras, but I have a friend who's from India, and they told me they pronounce it chakras, like sh instead of chakras. But either way, it's fine. Such claims are not supported by ordinary scientific evidence and are thus labeled as pseudoscience. When tested under scientific controlled experiments, the ability to see auras has not been proven to exist. Now, I would like to point out, when it comes to that, is that our scientific method is not made to discover anything paranormal, or spiritual. It is only made to discover anything that follows the physical laws of nature. It is not meant the way it is today. It is not meant for uh for Reiki and all that stuff. Cause the way it is, the way it has always been. And now we are going to continue. In Latin and ancient Greek, aura means wind, breeze, or breath. It was used in Middle English to mean gentle breeze. By the end of the 19th century, the word was used in some spiritualist circles to describe a speculated subtle a subtle energy around the body. The concept of auras was first popularized by Charles Webster Leadbeater, a former priest of the Church of England and a member of the mystic Theosophic Society. Leadbeater had studied Lord have mercy, Theosophy, how you guys want to pronounce it, in India, and believed he had the capability to use his clairvoyant powers to make scientific investigation. He claimed that he had discovered that most men come from Mars, but the more advanced men come from the moon, and that hydrogen atoms are made of 6 bodies contained in the egg-like form. You heard it here. You guys heard it here, okay? In his book, Man Visible and Invisible, published in 1903, Leadbeater illustrated the aura of man at various stages of his moral evolution. Excuse me, from the savage to the saint. In 1910, Leadbeater introduced the modern conception of auras by incorporating the tantric notion of chakras in his book, The Inner Life. But Leadbeater didn't simply present the tantric beliefs to the West. He reconstructed it and reinterpreted them by mixing them with his own ideas without acknowledging the source of these innovations. This is where like the water get muddy, because oftentimes people take things from different cultures and they mix it with their own ideas, and sometimes we get half truths. You know what I'm saying? But they never acknowledge where they get it from. So that's the problem. So, okay. So we're going back. Okay. Some of Leadbeater's innovations are describing chakras as energy vortexes and associating each of them with a gland or an organ and other body parts. So, suffice to say, chakras most likely didn't associate themselves with any organs or glands. Interesting. In the following year, Leadbeater's ideas of the aura and chakras were adopted and reinterpreted by other theosophists such as Rudolf Steiner, Edgar Edgar Casey. I don't know how good these names, Lord. But his occult anomaly remained of minor interest within the I was able to pronounce this word a while ago, but I can't pronounce it. Exotic. What within the spiritual counterculture until the 1980s, when it was picked up by the New Age movement. In 1977, American, I'm going to call them for what they are, American spiritualist Christopher Hills published a book, Nuclear Evolution, the Rainbow Body, which presented a modified version of libido's occult anomaly. Whereas libido had drawn each chakras with intricately detailed shapes and multiple colors, Hills presented them as a sequence of centers, each one being associated with the color of the rainbow. Most of the subsequent New Age writers will base their representation of the aura on Hill's interpretation of libido's idea. Chakras became a part of mainstream spiritual speculations in the 1980s and 1990s. Many New Age techniques that aim to clear blockages of the chakras were developed during the years, such as crystal healing and aura sama. Chakras were, by the late 1990s, less connected with their less connected with their spiritual and Hinduist root, and more infused with New Age ideas. A variety of New Age books propose different links between each chakras and colors, personality traits, illness, and Christian sacraments. Various types of holistic healing within the New Age movements claim to use aura reading techniques such as bioenergetic analysis, spiritual energy, and energy medicine. There have been numerous attempts to capture in an energy field around the human body, going as far as back as photographs by French physician. I'm not going to pronounce that man's name whatsoever. Hippolyte Barato. I butchered that man's name, Lord. In the 1980s. No, in the 1890s. I'm sorry. Supernatural interpretations of these images have often been a result of a lack of understanding of the simple natural phenomena behind them, such as heat emanating from a human body, producing aura-like images under infrared photography. In 1939, Semyon Davidovich Curran discovered that by placing an object or body part directly on photographic paper and then passing a high voltage across the object, he would attain the image of a glowing contour surrounding the object. This process came to be known as current photography. Some folk, you know what? I'm getting sick of, oh Lord, these names. Some power psychologists, such as Thelma Moss of UCLA, have proposed that these images show levels of psychic powers and bioenergies. However, studies have found that current effect is caused by the presence of moisture on the object being photographed. Electricity produces an error of gas ionization around the object if it is moist, which is the case for living things. This causes an alternation of the electrical charge pattern on the film. After rigorous experiments, no mysterious process has been discovered in relation to the current photography. See, this is where people gotta take um, scientists. Look, I'm not trying to doubt science as a whole, but anytime you hear them say, "Oh, we did this type of experiment, we did this experiment," you best believe that it was done in a controlled environment where they get to control the outcome. So most likely these gentlemen came around something that they couldn't explain. So 9 times out of 10, they probably had a lie. Most recent attempts at capturing auras include the aura imaging cameras and software introduced by Guy Collinson in 1992. Collinson claims that his software uses a biofield backdata to color the picture of the subject. The technique has failed to yield reproducible results. I mean, that's something. Okay. In the book, The Third Eye, written by Kyra Henry Hawkinson, under the pseudo Lobson Rampa, claims that Tibetan monks opened the spiritual third eye using Tapasin in order to accurately or in order to accelerate the development of clairvoyance and allow them to see the aura. It is also includes body gazing techniques purported to help achieve aura visualization. The book is by some considered to be a hoax. So there you guys have it. So now we know what the aura is, but we also learn a little bit of history about it. And again, this is why I say, like, everybody always trying to rely on science, but here's the thing: science does not have the equipment, nor the measurements, nor the technology to discover anything outside of the physical realm, because science was not made for that during its heyday. The way science works, it works with the five senses. It never works with the sixth sense or the seventh sense. Science was created for the five senses. But anyway, that is what anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this discussion about an aura. But here's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to leave me a voice message and tell me what you believe what a aura is and how you go about clearing your aura. I would love to hear y'all's explanation. Okay? All right, guys. That is it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I sure did. I loved it. I enjoyed every minute of it. And I'm happy that I revisited the subject about the aura and went much farther into detail. And like I said, please leave me a voice message about what you believe what an aura is and how you going about and how do you clear it. Because like I said, we all have different perception. We all have different perception. We all perceive things differently. How you perceive things is true for you. How I perceive things is true for me. I like to hear everybody else's truth, so that way I can put the puzzle together. But anyway, I'll see you guys next time. I love you guys. You guys have a good night. Deuces.